Hello and good afternoon to all the viewers of our weekly program. This is our update on the war of Israel with the terrorist Hamas, Islamic Republic of Iran, and the coming World War III. We're going to give you updates of everything. First and foremost, let me share the link in Instagram with all of the viewers who will be watching it live, and I'll also be able to click on it and bring it up on my phone in case if there's any kind of problems. We can deal with it right away. Okay, perfect. I have it as well. As you all know, this week we've learned a few things from this war. Number one, several weeks ago, if you remember, Hamas and all of the terrorist supporters of Hamas, like Rashida Tlaib, who unfortunately is in the hands of the United States as a representative of the people and has been chosen by dumb Democrats, spelled with a big capital R, continuously kept saying that Israel attacked Shifa Hospital and destroyed the people that are sick and they threw a rocket at them and all that nonsense, even though the whole world was saying that's not true. You saw fake news channels like ABC, CBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, Hee Haw, and the rest of the idiots all go ahead and take her side and say that yes, this is what happened. But this week we saw that the Israeli troops went into Al Shifa hospital and they were freeing the sick and the people that had gone there for refuge, and they found all kinds of weapons of war and weapons of terrorism. If you haven't seen it, go to my Telegram. In my Telegram, Christian Prince did a fantastic job, and I put 2 of his videos in my Telegram channel, and Christian Prince explains it to you in detail. In one of them, you will find that there is a Palestinian Arab female doctor, medical doctor, okay? And she's complaining that Hamas has taken everything, all the drugs you can think of, everything that you can think of. We don't have nothing left inside the hospital. They took everything. And we need to do surgeries on little babies, and we don't even have morphine to give. Okay? And she's telling everyone to get out, run away, go. You can go and find all of that. I also put for you what Gaza was before October the 6th, which they call an open air prison. Go and watch it. Go and watch that video. Go see what kind of lifestyle, the lavish lifestyle these guys had in Gaza that they call an open air prison. They lived in a place which people in the West dream of going to for vacation. Let's put it that way. Okay. The islands of Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas have nothing on these guys. Those people that live there, their energy is free. Because let's face it, who's paying for the energy? Israel. Their internet is free. Their mobiles is free. Their food is free. Because who pays for the food? United Nations, Iran, Qatar, Israel, United States, Australia, everybody. Their hospitals are free because Iran covers them for major surgeries. They fly them to Iran for free. The hospitals they have in Gaza are covered by United Nations. And on top of that, they get to go into actual Israel for whatever they cannot fix at the time in Gaza, which Israel pays for. So that's free too. The only thing left is their clothing. And their clothing is free because a lot of these donations that come from around the world where they collect clothing and they send it to poorer countries. So they get free, 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 everything free. Go and see that video. You will like it. A couple of weeks ago, I told you guys that in South America, Bolivia decided to cut all relations with Israel. And we all know Venezuela is in the pocket of Islamic Republic of Iran. And then we all saw the protests, peaceful protests, pro-Israeli protests of what had happened on October 7th in Brazil. This week, we also saw it happen in Argentina. Just like I told you, Argentina, Brazil, and probably Chile, and a few others will join together against Bolivia and Venezuela, and probably Ecuador. Why? Because Ecuador is in the hands of the cartels, and the cartels are very close and friendly and in a very loving relationship with Hezbollah of Lebanon, and Hezbollah of Lebanon is in the pocket of Islamic Republic of Iran. So it's easy to see who's on whose side. It's a no-brainer. And that war, if a World War III takes place, that's how in South America the war would look like. If you want to see how that protests took place inside of Argentina, let me see if I can bring it up for you so that you can see it. Let me see. I'm going to make this a little shorter so that I can see it when it pops up for you guys as well as for me. Because I know there's a little delay from when I bring something up to when YouTube allows you to see it. Okay. Let's see if we can play it now, and hopefully you can see the video and the screen at the same time, because I think in the Persian, we played the volume first, and then it took a while for the... We did the same again here because of the delay that Zoom and YouTube have. There's a delay. So with that delay, as you can see, that delay makes it a little hard for the volume. But you saw it, and you're still seeing it. So I will close that. I will stop it. Okay. So you saw that now, right? Perfect. That was that. Let's see what else we learned this week. As far as Israel is concerned, they're throwing pamphlets down from the air. They're flying over the Lebanese airspace in southern Lebanon, and they're throwing pamphlets telling people to evacuate the area because the houses that are near the border with Israel's north and Lebanon's south, those houses in the sovereign country of Lebanon are used just like Shifa Hospital and the school and all the other things that Hamas was using to shoot rockets out of. Hezbollah uses all these homes and whatnot to shoot their rockets out of. And Israel is saying, after we finish with Hamas, Hezbollah is next. Meaning we are coming after all of those who want to commit war crimes against us. We want to clear the area of all of them. That's what Israel is saying. And they totally have the right to do so. Imagine this is your home, and there's multiple people that continuously keep wanting to break into your home to hurt your family. Obviously, you're going to contact the police and try to get them involved. But if the police turn a blind eye and give a green light to those who are committing this atrocity on you, then you will obviously look at other ways of protecting your home, whether it's hiring a security company, getting some dogs, possibly getting some weapons to defend yourself with, or whatever you can come up with. Hence, Israel is in the same situation. They've been saying it for 75 years that we are being attacked, we need help, and nobody wants to do anything about it because everyone's making money out of it. Hence, now they decided we have to protect our people because obviously they're being killed. And to protect our people, we have to eliminate those who are attacking us, which are the terrorists. And they're justified in doing that. For that case, they've told the people that are citizens of Lebanon who have nothing to do with Hezbollah to leave the territory. As you can see, they've exterminated all the Hamas terrorists that are in northern Gaza, and the ones that were in northern Gaza have all fled to southern Gaza. So now the Israeli army is going to follow them all the way into southern Gaza to catch them. And as you know, Islamic Republic of Iran is completely afraid now. Sayyid Ali Ayatollah Khamenei has turned into a cockroach, and he's gone underneath some rocks and he's hidden because he's afraid that he'll be next. But in reality, next is Hezbollah in Lebanon, after which it'll probably be Houthis, and then the little terrorist organizations throughout Iraq, like Khatim al-Hezbollah, Hashd al-Shabi, and the rest. They're all going to get it. The Mahdi Brigade, and so on and so on. They're all going to get it next. The general commanders for the Sepah movement, the Basij movement of Iran, which has nothing to do with the military of Iran, because the Basij movement, IRGC, stands for the Islamic Republic. And so they are not here. There's nothing in there that names them as an Iranian. It's an Islamic militia group that takes its command from the so-called spiritual leader, which is Sayyid Ali Khamenei. It means it is his personal army. It's not the army of Iran. It's his personal army. And they are saying that they will do whatever Hamas needs. However, if they were going to do whatever Hamas needs, they would have to get into the war and defend Gaza from these Israelis. But you don't see them doing that. All you see them do is tell their terrorist organizations in the region to attack United States. This is because they want to bring United States into the war. Why they want to bring United States into a war? Obviously, Iran cannot win a war with the United States. So there has to be another reason why they want Iran and the United States to go to war. And that is to help Joe Biden get elected again. As we saw this week, when China came to San Francisco, they cleaned up the city. They took all these people that live in tents out in the middle of the streets. They swept them all up and took them all out. Who knows where? Dumped them somewhere. Out of sight, out of mind. They cleaned up the city, washed the streets, and all of that. And when President Xi, Winnie the Pooh, showed up, what did they do? They groveled at the feet of Winnie the Pooh. They said to him, "Oh, now that you're here, you can, give us some panda bears, answer our military phone calls because we miss you, and you're very nice. And in return, China said, President Xi, Winnie the Pooh, he said, there's enough space in this world for both of us, meaning when I go after Taiwan, you leave me alone. I can take Taiwan and do whatever I want, and you have no say. And we all saw Joe Biden go, oh, what? As usual, because, he's a clown. And then we saw China make a bunch of demands. And instead of Joe Biden acting like a real man and fixing his border and making sure no drugs get in and being responsible for his country, he said to President Xi, Winnie the Pooh, he said, can you stiffen up your border so that fentanyl can't be sent from your country to mine? And again, made a clown out of himself. The only reason why he did all that is so that in front of some foolish Democrat minds, they can say, he's creating peace with China. And hence, maybe he can make it seem like in the international committee, he's doing something and standing up for the United States. Maybe he can fool some Democrats. They need to do more than that. And more than that means Joe Biden is financing, and right now he cleared another $10 billion for Iran, for Islamic Republic of Iran, from frozen accounts from around the world. Meaning, more money for Iran. What is Islamic Republic of Iran going to do with this money? Obviously, they're not going to spend it on the people. They haven't done that for 44 years. This money will be financed into more terrorism, committing more attacks on American bases and American troops in the region. Meaning the chance of more Americans getting hurt, more Americans getting killed, more Americans getting maimed. The destruction of more American military weapons, a loss for Americans as far as their dollar is concerned that went into those weapons. And in that case, Joe Biden has two choices. One, to bomb Iran and make it look like he's a man standing up. Or two, at the end of this year, in 2024, he's going to get replaced, either by another Democrat or by a Republican, most likely being Donald Trump. In which case, that person is going to bomb Iran to show that he can stand up. There is no other scenario around it. The scenario that first comes to mind is Joe Biden will do that. He'll probably attack the oil wells in Iran, the oil machineries so that Iran cannot produce oil, and hence Joe Biden can say, we stood up to the terrorist dictatorship of Islamic Republic of Iran, and now we cut their path of making money and financing terrorism, and he'll make himself look good. In order to do that, he needs to do what he's doing currently. As we can see, the attacks on American bases has now reached 60 attacks. Last week, we were at 52, 54. Now we are at 60. So these little attacks keep going up. They keep building up so that as we get closer to election time, they can say, well, something needed to be done, and Joe Biden was a man. He stood up for the United States. He's a war leader, and he can stand up to the enemy and, rah, rah, rah. That's all it's about. smoke and mirrors, make it look like he's doing something. First, he finances it, pushes it forward, and then he'll come back and try to stop it, make him look good. In reality, he's in bed with them. How do we know he's in bed with them? Last week we showed it when he was talking about how Israel has to have a 4-hour peace every single day. And they have to also notify Hamas and the people of Gaza for 3.5 hours prior to this 4-hour peace. So for 3.5 hours, constantly, Israel has to say, at 4 p.m., we're going to have peace, okay? At 4 p.m., we're going to have peace, okay? At 4 p.m., we're going to have peace, okay? At 4 p.m., like a parrot. And then when 4 p.m. comes, they're going to have peace until 8 p.m. So 8 hours of their whole entire time is gone every day. This is done to prolong the war, not let it finish fast. The more it prolongs, the higher the chance of a world war. As we know, Israel and Russia cut military communications, which means now when Israel bombs Syria, they don't have to tell the Russians where they're bombing so that the Russians can get out of the way. And now we found out that whenever China wants to go after Taiwan, the United States is not going to do anything about it. Because Joe Biden agreed with President Xi, Winnie the Pooh. And we know Winnie the Pooh, his good friend, is Vladimir Putin, also known as the Tigger. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the last time these guys were together walking around the garden in China, they made a caricature of both of them, and underneath it, caricature of Winnie the Pooh and his friend Tigger. And they resembled these two walking together. And they did the same walk in the garden out here in San Francisco. Except Biden is no Tigger like Vladimir Putin. Biden is just a clown. So it was Winnie the Pooh with the clown up here and Winnie the Pooh with Tigger in China. That is why Winnie the Pooh is also banned in China, because it looks like President Xi, the dictator that he is. In this channel, we're not afraid to call people what they are or name them or go after anybody. If you're not with Christ and you're not trying to do good, we will show you for what you are, and we're not afraid of anyone. The longer this war goes forward, the sooner China can take Taiwan. And when it does, Japan will be next. And Japan knows that. And when that happens, North Korea will go after South Korea, which means every European country and America will then have to get involved. China and Russia already have a peace treaty which states China will not interfere with Russia taking on Ukraine, and Russia will not interfere with China when China goes after Taiwan. They already have this peace treaty. They're just waiting for the right time to pounce. And that time is getting closer and closer. The longer the Middle East war continues and more countries get involved and America gets weaker in that conflict, the better the chance for China to do what it wants. China is just waiting right now for the moment Biden wins his re-election and becomes president again in 2024 so that they can have a green light of attacking Taiwan, knowing full well that there is no President Trump who's going to stand in his way and defend Taiwan. That is all China is waiting for, the green light. That is why they're fighting so hard to make Biden's image look good, while they get out of Biden everything they want. England and Canada are not much better. They're already caving into their own Muslim populations. They are no match to stand in front of China right now in a world war. They would be steamed over within minutes, and they both know it. The only chance we have at saving the planet right now is of two things happening. One, Netanyahu completely demolishes and abolishes Hamas, followed by demolishing and abolishing Hezbollah, weakening down the Houthis to the point where they are no longer able to run Yemen, so that Yemen's proper official government can come back in power, and taking out Islamic Republic of Iran's head, meaning taking out Khamenei and attacking their nuclear facilities and their oil reserves. Hence, Iran would become a weak country, taking it years to rebuild in order to be able to resell oil. The nuclear threat will be completely gone, and the regime would take a severe blow, which would aid the people to possibly topple it over. At the same time, we need you, the people in America, to vote for Trump, because he's the only choice you have at not only saving the United States and showing that the United States is a superpower, is not the joke of the town like it is now. Any country you go to, if you say you're American, now they laugh at you because they know you got Biden. How could they not laugh at a guy who doesn't know who he is, where he is, what he's doing, and has 7 to 8 replicas of himself walking around pretending to be him with masks on their face and the whole works? If you don't believe me, go to my Telegram. I have it there for you. And if you're not in the United States, you need to start voting for people in your country who are going to represent you instead of the socialist movements, the Democrat movements, and so on. The liberal movements. Anyone that has any of these names to them, they are not nationalists. All of them are working towards communist ideology. If you don't believe me, look at all the protests happening in your country. They're pulling up the flags of everywhere except the country they're in. If the protest is in the United States, you don't see an American flag. You see Palestinian flags. You see the gay flags. You see the BLM flags. You see African flags. You see the flag of China. You see the flag of anywhere except for United States. If it's in England, same thing. You'll see a flag of anywhere but England. If it happens in France, it's the flag of anywhere except France. If it happens in Germany, it's the flag of anywhere but Germany. Because they want you to hate your own country. They want you to feel low, have low self-esteem, see the others greater than you. And by this point, they can break you down, turn you into their little slave, so they can push whatever agenda they want, which eventually goes towards communism. They get to tell you what you should do, what you should eat, what you should wear, when you should go out, when you should come back home, what you should have in your house. Hence the Green New Deal, the energy deal that we saw flip on them All those companies working on the Green New Deal are going out of business because the Green New Deal can't sustain itself. They still rely on oil and coal, the same two things they're trying to ban. So when a company relies on that in order to create the green energy, and you ban that, that means that that company no longer has what it needs to create what it wants to create. Hence, it flips and goes bankrupt. But they try to hide that. But you can't hide everything forever. Eventually, it pops out. That is the predicament they find themselves in. You need to vote for nationalistic people who are committed to your country. And you need to start voting for people that are from your country, not people whose fathers just came to your country a generation ago, who are raised with ideas that are not of your people. If you're an American, do not pick an Indian from India to be your president, because the guy from India is thinking like an Indian in his head. Do not pick an Iranian or an Arab or a Chinese. No, not unless that person has been here for 7 to 10 generations. Sure, if someone is Chinese and they've been here for 7 to 10 generations and they've mixed with the other people around, one thing. If it's a person who's still fully Chinese, meaning their parents came here, they married others who are also from China, they had kids, the kid married another person from here who's also originally from China, and they had kids, and that person married another one who's also from China, and they had kids, and all these kids are still Chinese. What they're showing you in action is that at the end of the day, what they value is the old traditions of their own country prior to coming here. That is why they keep marrying from their own people. They consider themselves separate from you, hence they cannot mix fully. Same thing with Indian or any other nationality. If they're not mixing, see, in the United States, it's a mixing pot. People mix. You'll see a white person married to a black person. You'll see a Latino married to a black, a Latino married to a white. It's a mixing pot. But when you have someone from India who has to marry another Indian, and their religion is still Hindu, it's not your religion. They're keeping the religion of back there. They're marrying another person from back there. They have to keep that pure. If you compare it like dogs, you know how you have a pure breed dog, golden retriever, you only get it mixed with another golden retriever because you want the next generation to come out golden retriever. Same thing with humanity. They're trying to build that purebred Indian. So you got someone like Vivek Ramaswamy. His ideas are still back home. It's not the American ideas. He'll say one thing today, he'll turn around and say another thing tomorrow. Vivek Ramaswamy wants to help the Islamic Republic of Iran. He wants to build a great relations with them. That's what he said. Then he turned around. No, when he talks to the Jews, we're going to do whatever we can for the Jew. But when he talked to Piers Morgan, he turned around and said, that's only in words. Meaning when the Jew is attacked, we're going to go to the United Nations and we're going to say, Israel has a right to defend itself, but we can't do anything more than that. Which means any country wants to invade any country, they can. We're just going to sit back and we're going to say, you shouldn't do that. But that's about it. And you can't trust anything the guy will tell you. Because he flip-flops on everything. And the minute you put him in a corner, like a cat puts a mouse in a corner, he'll attack you. Like he did on Sean Hannity. He went on Sean Hannity, and when Sean Hannity wouldn't let him go and was holding him to his words, what did he do? He says, that's why I like to be on Tucker's show and not yours, because you're fake news and Fox. Well, why you show up on Fox every day? If Fox is fake news, why are you there every day? You're on Laura Ingram's program. You're on Sean Hannity's program. You show up on other people's program. Don't be fooled by these people. Pick a true representative. The people that you should pick are people that have proven themselves, that stand up for the people, that stand up for the country, that want to do good for the country, like Donald Trump. He wants to close that border. So you don't have 15 million people coming in that you don't know who they are. It's one thing if you come into this country the right way, where the government knows who you are, what you plan on doing. Can you provide for yourself? Are you able to go get a job? Can you speak the language even? It's another thing when people show up, sneak into your borders through a country named Mexico, and they are not even Mexican themselves. You got Chinese coming in, Iranians coming in, Lebanese coming in, everybody coming in. How are they coming in? You know, there's a lot of bribes being done to be smuggled around. I mean, Iran is not next to Mexico. It's not like they're the neighbors of each other. They're from the other side of the planet. Same with China, Lebanon, and all these other places. So how are they coming in? There's a lot of smuggling going on. There's a lot of money in there. Biden's government is behind it. They're giving it the green light. They're the ones that go around cutting the fences that the government of Texas puts up to protect itself, allowing these people to get smuggled in. Don't fall for these people who pretend to say the right things, act the right way, give you the nice smile. Don't fall for them. They're here to misguide you, to destroy your country, to destroy your life after they destroy your country. I know about that. We came from a country that got destroyed. It's deja vu for us. The Iranians who escaped the Islamic Republic of Iran, and you will find out who is the Iranian that escaped and the Iranian that was sent here by the Islamic Republic of Iran. There's two types. The one that is sent here, you don't see them chastise the Islamic Republic of Iran. They try to defend them everywhere they can. Another group will pretend like they're chastising Islamic Republic of Iran, but they will defend people who look like Islamic Republic of Iran, like Masih Alinejad. She was like this with Islamic Republic of Iran when she was inside Iran. Her family members in Iran are like this with Islamic Republic of Iran until today. She's outside of Iran, sucking down the money that belongs to the people of Iran that's frozen on pretend causes that, oh, her family members have been placed in jail in Iran and She has to sue the Islamic Republic of Iran outside of Iran and take chunks of the Iranian money. And then we see the Islamic Republic of Iran do the exact same thing. And she'll say, no, that money doesn't belong to them. That belongs to the people of Iran. Well, how come you took it? That money also belongs to the people of Iran. Why did you take it? You're doing the exact same thing they're doing. How did Iran do it, you ask? When they took the hostages, Biden released frozen accounts, 6 billion that belonged to the people of Iran. And Masih Alinejad came out and said, that's the money of the people of Iran. It shouldn't be given to the government of Iran. Or you got Maryam Rajavi with her Mujahideen Khalq, MEK, who want Islamic Republic of Iran to go so she can have her version of Islamic Republic of Iran in Iran. Don't fall for these people. Those are all in one group. They want the same thing. They're not out here for real change. Don't fall for them. There's lots of people like that. And not just about the Iranians, about the other groups. Turkey has the same thing here. You got a bunch of idiots out here from Turkey who want an Islamic Republic in Turkey. They don't like Erdogan. Why? Because they want their guy in charge, because there's money in it. There's money in it. Don't fall for these people. There's a lot of them. Don't fall for them, people. Bring back people like Trump. And in your countries, if you're not in America, you have people like Trump in your countries. People that want to stand up for your country. They want to put your country first. Protect your people. Don't live in a fantasy world. Let me show you what a fantasy world looks like. Okay? I'm going to show you a fantasy world of the globalists. Very shortly, you'll see it on your screen. We're going to go through it together. Here's the fantasy world of the globalists. This is what they want you to believe. This white woman over here thinks she's a Native American. This woman over here, who's over 75% Indian from India, whose family members had black slaves by the tons in Jamaica and grew up in Canada and studied in Canada and then was brought back into United States. Her parents are all Indian, pretends to be African American. This idiot over here, who used to be a first lady and is worth billions of dollars, thinks she's oppressed while she has homes that majority, 99% of Americans could only dream of seeing in their dreams, is oppressed, has podcasts and everything else, but she pretends to be oppressed. What is she oppressed about? Nobody knows. This idiot over here thinks he's competent. He doesn't even know how to get off a stage. This one over here, who was a drug dealer, a porn star, attacked a black woman who was pregnant in her house and threatened to kill her and her baby in order to rob the house, has been in jail over 15 times, eventually died of fentanyl and a bunch of other drugs and COVID, while they say that a police stepped on the back of his neck, where you can't really choke someone out by stepping on the back of a neck. You can paralyze, but you cannot choke by the back of the neck. You choke by the sides or the front. You do not choke by the back of the neck. You're paralyzed by the back of the neck. Apparently, this guy is a hero. This idiot down here, from when she was like a 10-year-old child, is supposedly your expert on global warming and all the other crap that goes on. She's an expert. As a child, she's an expert. Your protests by BLM, Hamas supporters, and the rest, Antifa, and so on, that burn down places of shops and worships and whatnot, and homes, apparently they're all peaceful. And this man over here apparently is a woman. This is how globalists go. And you think this is not destroying what you got? Last but not least, I saved them for the end. This thief over here, Bill Gates, Microsoft is something that he stole. Go and look it up. He thinks he's a medical scientist. The guy never took a medical course in his life, and he's your medical scientist. It's probably because he wears glasses and combs his hair to the side. I guess he thinks that's what a scientist looks like. Don't get fooled by these people. There are a ton of people out there trying to fool you. And they got a lot of media behind them, pushing their path. Don't be fooled by them. Unite with others who are the same thought as you if you want to stop World War III. If you don't, you will be pulled into World War III. Your kids will go to war. Bombs will be dropped on your head. Attacks will happen in your cities. And you will not be able to avoid it. Today we got bombs that can go anywhere. It's not like World War II, where it's going to be held to a region or a few regions. This time the war will be everywhere. The signs are already there. You can smell it in the air. They're baking it for you, and it's going to come out. If you want to stop it, elect people like Donald Trump in your countries, especially in the United States. Unite with the people of Iran who are following King Reza Pahlavi and help them bring down and dismantle the so-called Islamic regime, which is built out of 350 Arab families who only mix with each other. All of the kids that are born through this Islamic Republic, 350 families, are related to each other. They don't mix with the rest of the people of Iran. And they only commit genocide on the people of Iran. And they commit acts of terrorism outside of Iran. Unite with the people of Iran and topple this regime. We need to put the people of Iran to a complete vote in which 99% of the actual people of Iran will vote for King Reza Pahlavi to come back into power as a democratic kingdom, just like we have in Sweden, just like we have in Netherlands, just like we have in Spain, Portugal, and so many other countries. England, one of them. That is what the people of Iran want. Until tomorrow, when we continue back with Musa al-Kazim Part 2, I leave you all in the hands of Jesus. God bless you.